over the last week, they open up on Tuesday. They get the win 5-2 versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. That was my win of the week pick. So at that point, the Sharks were 15-4-2 when scoring first this season. They're 15-0-1 when leading going into the third period as well. At that point, they get goals from Regenda, Wenberg, Ostapchuk, and Ferraro, and Celebrini had empty netters as well. So that's fun. Man, and Nedeljkovic had a hell of a game that game too. 944 save percentage, 34 of 36 saves. Then the following day on a back-to-back, they get the overtime winner against the LA Kings, 4-3. Celebrini tied the game with just over 1 minute remaining, and then in overtime, he forced the turnover, gathers the puck off of the linesman, and then he feeds the assist to Eklund for the game-winning goal. That one was absolutely bonkers. Godet and Toffoli also had goals in that game. The former LA King, Toffoli, that I add. God, if you'd have told me 6 years ago that I'd be cheering Tyler Toffoli, oh man, I might punch you in the throat. I don't know, man. Wenberg, Celebrini had a couple assists as well. Liljegren, Skinner, man, just all around great contributions up and down the line. Then we follow it up with another back-to-back games on Saturday. They get another overtime win versus Dallas 5-4. The Sharks were down 2-0. Then they come back to tie it. Then they fall down 4-2. Then they come back to tie it again. Oh man, just absolutely bonkers. Toffoli gets the overtime winner in that one. That was just an absolutely insane, just overall spectacle. That was an afternoon game as well. Oh man. But then, unfortunately, they play the Vegas Golden Knights. They ended up losing 7-2. That was your pick for win of the week, unfortunately. But you get goals from Graf and Wenberg. That was the end of Celebrini's point streak. So that point streak ends at 13 games, which is, you know what? If he's scoring 13 out of 14 games in a row, that's fine. So let's just start another 13-point game point streak, and just take it from here. And I think we're going to be doing just fine if that's what we're getting from the kid, So that's, great. Yeah, we love to see that. Otherwise, unfortunately, that 7-2 loss does not feel great. That they ended up getting swept by Vegas. That sucks.
Yeah.
Real kick in the teeth. I don't like that. I wish that they could figure out a way to get a win against these guys. But as for where they are in the standings right now, they are currently the number one
season, Vince. That's what makes that first game so brutal, is because they had it. They had it in hand, and the rough start to the season, they the first 3-4 games,
they were 0-4-2.
Right. And they could have won all of those games. I think the first two they lost in overtime. They had it won, and then they allowed the opposition to score in the final minutes or seconds, and then they go and lose it in overtime. So if they hold on to those wins, they're right there atop the division, 1, 2.
Not only that, they were playing the Golden Knights and the Ducks to open up the
right. So,
so those are teams right there. They're above you or right near you in the standings. So extra hurtful,
Absolutely.
But yeah, so where they are in the standings right now, they're the number one wild card team in the West. So that's great. They're at 49 points. They're 23 wins, 19 losses, 3 overtime losses. The Kings are the number 2 team in the wild card, just 1 point back of you. The Mammoth are actually tied on points with them. They have one more game played though, so the Mammoth are back there. The Predators are on their tails as well. The Ducks are 3 points back of the Kings, so they're not too far out of it. The Blackhawks are also 3 points back. So and then further back, we just don't care. So, these are teams that are, not too far out. The West is really tight. It's really bunched up. So a bad week can really put you in a world of hurt. So you got to keep stacking wins. You go 3-1 over this last week. That's huge. We love that. Just over your last 10, 6 wins, 4 losses. That's pretty good. I would have preferred to see 7-3 or something like that, but overall, we appreciate more wins than losses. That didn't happen a whole lot over the last 5 years, but this is great. This is a team that's really learned how to win. They learned how to lose together last year. Now they're learning how to win together this year. This is really great. These are great building blocks. Right now, their goal differential is -19, and that's because they keep getting blown out in these losses. They still have more wins than losses overall. They're plus regular 500. They're not even plus NHL 500. They're plus regular 500. They have 23 wins and 22 losses if you add up the regulation and the overtime losses together. So 23, 19, and 3, that's 23 wins, 22 losses total. The Golden Knights, by the way, they have 21 wins and they have 11 losses and 12 overtime losses. So they're 21 and 23.
Yeah, it's weird.
So because they, take a bunch of games into overtime before they lose it, they get the loser's point. And that's why I'm someone who really likes what the PWHL does, the Women's Hockey League, where every game is 3 points and you have 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime loss, and then no points for a regulation loss. I like the 3-2-1-0 scoring better, where you don't get a magic point out of nowhere, out of thin air, if a game lasts longer than it normally does. So that being said, there are some other things happening. Just a couple of news and notes from the Sharks. Philip Kurashev was named to the Switzerland Olympic roster. That's assuming that the Milan hockey rink actually is completed and ready to host the Olympic tournament on time. It's a little bit sketchy, little question marks on that. It feels like it might actually be close to done based on what we're hearing, but like there's still question marks happening. There's still tests happening. They were out there with a bucket, like pouring water onto like some spots to get it, happen. It looks like that it's gonna happen. The rink itself is about 3 feet shorter than it should be as far as regulation size goes. So just a lot of blunders happening with the Olympic rink in Milan. But if they're able to get the actual rink to produce ice at a quality level, which they should, then the Olympic hockey tournament will happen, and then all these players will actually get to represent their teams as promised. So that's what we really want to have happen, right? And we want to see best on best, but they can't play if the ice isn't good enough quality, and that's been the question mark now going forward. And we're just kind of waiting on bated breath, waiting for these.
They got a couple of weeks to get it right, and
it's getting a little close. We're a little. Exactly. Tim's in the background going, we're on the razor's edge here. I think it's gonna get done, but it's getting real close. It's close. I think it's gonna happen. But oh man, I do not want to know what happens. There is no plan B, So we'll see. I think it's gonna happen. I'm the optimist, right? I think it's gonna happen. If it doesn't, the hell that's gonna rain down. I don't even want to think about what's gonna happen otherwise.
Right.
Back home, a little closer to home, Michael Misa, he's going to be staying, man. He's not going back to the OHL. The news broke over the weekend. He expects to stay with the Sharks for the remainder of the season. He did end up playing in that Vegas game. So that's great news. He's not going to develop at the OHL. He can't go to the AHL. So, based on the way the rules break down, just with how 18-year-olds, the rules for 18-year-olds, it kind of sucks. But there's only 2 places for him: the OHL, where he's way too good for there, and the NHL, where the game's a little bit too fast, but it's starting to slow down for him, I think, a little bit. He just spent he was injured for a little bit, and then he just was playing in the World Junior Championships. So that bought the Sharks a lot of time. They didn't have to make a decision quite so soon, So that bought us a lot of time. But now the decision was coming, and it sounds like the decision has been made. So now we've got to get some, tweaks on the edges of the periphery of the roster to kind of make it happen to get the room created. I believe those tweaks have already started to happen as well. I forgot to write down exactly what that trade was, but there was a trade like on the periphery.
Yeah, there was a trade a few days ago.
Yeah,
for a goalie, right?
Yeah, it was a goalie trade, and there was you guys dropped it in the chat. Really, I'm. This is great radio, right?
Great radio, great podcasting,
great podcasting.
Well, here's something that that we didn't get a chance to talk about, because this just broke a couple of days ago about Dougie Hamilton blocking a trade.
Oh, right.
Into the San Jose Sharks.
And that was over the summer. Yeah.
And that was during the summer. And now there's rumors that Dougie may want to come to the Sharks now based on how the San Jose Sharks season is developing. How do you think about if that trade were completed? Obviously, we don't know what was intended to be given up.
Right.
And we don't know what it would cost, but how would you feel adding Dougie Hamilton?
I think Dougie Hamilton, he hasn't really had quite the best year.
This year right
now. He's had a down year this year. Part of that is Jersey. Jersey hasn't really they've had a down year. Right now they're 1, 2, 3. They're fourth from the bottom in the East, as I'm counting from the standings. So they're a little bit down, but based on points right now, they have 48 points. That would put them second wild card in the West. So just to give you an idea of where the East is versus where the West is in terms of standing. So it's a little bit apples and oranges comparing the two conferences right now. Just kind of throwing that out there. But Dougie Hamilton, he does have a history of being a quality defenseman. So I think you got to at least kick the tires. I think depending on what they're asking for, I at least he says he's waiting to be traded at this point, right? Like there's like he's been like healthy scratched a couple of times. He's kind of in and out of the lineup, just here and there, just to kind of stay fresh. But just on occasion. But I think I don't know if I want him. If I'm being honest, he's how old is he? He's like I
think he's over 30.
Forever. Yeah, he's definitely over 30. He's been in the league like 15 years or something, like 14 years. I just looked it up. As I was looking it up,
32 or something like that.
Okay, 32. Okay, so the contract is he's in the 5th year of a 7-year, $63 million contract. So I mean, the money's not a problem because the Sharks have tons of cap room. That's not a thing, and so it'd be only 2 more years after this year. So you know what? As far as the contracts part's concerned, that doesn't actually really bother me then that much. So. I guess it's just what's the price? What are we paying to give him up to get for him? And
I mean, I would think with his year being so bad, and now that he's getting benched because they don't, as a business decision, they don't want him to get hurt.
The price is falling.
I couldn't imagine it would be a whole lot.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be a ton. So I think. I think I'm more willing to at least kick the tires on him, and he's not going to. It's not going to cost that much, I don't think. He's $9 million. If New Jersey's given up on the season, if they're waving the white flag, they're going to want to shed salary, right?
Right.
So getting $9 million off the books, that's going to help.
Let me ask you this: the way I feel is the San Jose Sharks are loaded with a bunch of talent. So option one, I feel like I want to see this talent grow and see some guys get promoted and see them get some run, because as exciting as it is to see the Sharks this current season, we feel like we're ahead of schedule, right? We feel like we're a year ahead of schedule. We think it's like next year is like really the year that they're going to be challenging for a play, like a division title and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So like part of me feels like I want to see some of the young guys get some burn now so that we could assess what we need and where we're at with them for next year. The option B would be if we do make a trade and we are going to unload some of this talent, I want a legit superstar defenseman or two or really good ones, right? That are really going to help this team now and next year. I don't want to get a guy that's like on the decline and
right. This is like, so this is like, I think if you're making this move, you're going to be trading two of the, like, you're going to be giving up two guys that are currently on the 50 man to try to get some room for Misa to stay, I think. And then like bringing in Hamilton to like steady the defensive core a little bit. Cause right now the defensive core is the weakest part of the team right now.
Right.
Like, I think that's, I don't think there's any argument to be had there. I think there's like that's easily the weakest part of the team. We're not, and as far as down in the minors as well, that's probably where we need the most help as well. Like the forward strength is really good there. Ravensburger's been killing it as a goalie down there too. So
yeah, but
like
he's a ways away.
Yeah, but he's still got some time before he's ready to be the backup goalie as well. So yeah, I feel like Hamilton could be a good guy to maybe shore up the defensive core a little bit right now, just to have another body in here that'll maybe make us not so much saloon doors as a defensive core. Right. Maybe just a little bit less like a pylon, I think. Because Orlov, for example, has not been that great. I just from the eye test, his best years are well behind him. It's like I think Orlov can probably be moved on from. He's played a little bit better recently, but overall, I think it's I think we're, I think we've seen the end of it. God, I mean, Klingberg, he had a little bit of a resurgence as well. Nick Leddy, though, is like the one that I'm like really ready to move on from. Liljegren, he played a little bit, like he's played a little bit better, but like if Liljegren is one that we ended up giving up to get Hamilton, I think that's probably a little bit easier to sell New Jersey on, because he actually has, I think, a little bit more value. Mario Ferraro actually does have trade value, but he's a fan favorite, and that'll be a little bit of a tougher sell for the fans. Vinny Iorio, he's young, so I think the Sharks like him. He's tall, he's a tall, big body, but he's made a lot of mistakes as well. So it's kind of tough. I think, I think Nick Leddy is probably going to be cut or traded, but I don't know who's taking him in a trade. So I think, because you got to clear room on defense to bring in Hamilton is the thing. So that's that. So I'm just looking at the roster. I think, Leddy's got to go, and Liljegren probably, maybe Vinny Desharnais as well. But who's taking these guys on? I don't know, man. I don't think New Jersey's willing to take all these guys on.
Right? If they're going to blow it up, right, they're not going to take on a whole bunch of whole bunch of salary coming back. They're going to want, if they do take any salary back, they're going to want
expiring contracts. Nick Leddy would be an expiring contract, but he's pylon number 1, unfortunately. So anyway, so Hamilton would be interesting. So the trade that we were talking about earlier, it was Ryan Ellis's contract basically, and Jake Furlong.
I see.
Was who the Sharks sent to Chicago, and they got Laurent Brossoit and Nolan Allen back. And that's for AHL depth at goalie is what happened there. And Nolan Allen is another defensive depth piece in the minors as well. So yeah, that Ryan Ellis, that was he was part of the 50, I think, and that was part of the trade to make room for Misa's contract, I believe, so that way he can stay up with the team beyond the 10.
Let me ask you this, because I've been hearing that the Buffalo Sabres might be willing to make a big trade with Bowen Byram. And I know he just signed a contract extension earlier in the year, but their GM did say that they're going to entertain trade offers this year. He was the 4th overall pick just a few years ago. And he's having a hell of a productive year last year and this year. So I think to give up, but you would have a premier, he's only 24, 25 right now. So
yeah.
I mean, that would be,
what's the price?
Yeah. What do you give up?
Yeah. What is the minimum I can give up to get him? Yeah. I mean, that's
because I might pull the trigger on.
I gotta kick the tires on that. I gotta, at least put a call. I'm sure Big Money Mike Greer is at least kicking the tires on that one for sure.
Because he has a contract extension. So you're going to have him under control for another couple years. And you have all the cap room in the world to keep a really talented core together. So Celebrini, Eklund just signed a deal. So you're all your guys, you have them in control. And what would that look like? I know it's like so early to speculate on that, but that's a big name that I did read over the past few days that could potentially get moved, but it would cost you. It would cost you a whole lot.
Yeah. That's not going to be an easy move, and that's a win now move, and I don't think that's a move that you're going to make mid-season, because that's going to cost more.
Yeah.
That's
a win now, but he's 24 or 25. So
yeah, I think if Buffalo falls out of it in the next couple of weeks, because there's we gotta see what happens before the Olympic break.
Yeah,
and then because all the action is basically going to stop at the Olympic break. And then we're going to pick back up for another couple of weeks. And then you'll have the real trade deadline after that. So there's like sort of a mini deadline. And then you got the hard trade deadline.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what sort of magic Big Money Mike Greer comes up with. All right. So for let's bring it back home. Let's look at the upcoming games for the Sharks. You are on the road. You got a back-to-back at Washington on Thursday, at Detroit on Friday, and then you're at Florida Monday. All these games start at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that's why I'm including the Monday game for win of the week. Tyler did text in with our
he took the Red Wings.
He's taking the Red Wings for win of the week. What do you think? We're
going to go into Tampa Bay and punch him in the freaking mouth.
We're going to show Florida. That's not Tampa. That's the Panthers.
No, Tampa Bay Lightning, man. When we got into it.
Oh yeah, but that's a Tuesday game. We're not talking Tuesday. We're talking only to Monday. Florida Panthers.
Damn it. Well, I'll take the Panthers. We're going back to back in Florida. We're gonna show them.
All right. You know what? I'll spread the wealth. I'll take Washington then.
All right.
I'm good with that. We'll
And
spread
then
it all
next
out.
week, I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All
Because
right.
we're going to punch them in the mouth.
That's fair. That's fair.